Hello there. Welcome back. Glad you made it. Boys and girls. The fireworks. Sparkles. Oh, glitter. Glitter. More glitter. Confetti. Pop. Confetti. What's going on? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you... Hello. Thank you for joining me once again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, it's Wednesday. It's April the 17th, 2024. If you're joining me for the first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, dropped on where? Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show and watch it grow right before your eyes. If you're tuning in from Canada, wagwan to my Canadians, my Canucks. Hello down south in the United States. Further down south, Mexico, South America. Over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Middle East. Man, New Zealand, Australia, all the islands, Caribbean islands, Jamaica, Patois, Swahili. Hello. If you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. You know what it is. Getting right into it. It's Wednesday. I'm feeling lots of feelings, feeling lots of thinking, lots of thoughts, having lots of emotions, as we all do, because we're human beings made of the mush and thoughts in the mush and feelings in the mush. Oh, just this one brain, it's the brain, it's the old mind-body problem. It's the old, not so much of a problem, it's the old mind-body conundrum, mind-body spirit. It's the three-body problem. It's the three parts of the body of the problem. It's the three-body problem, and it's first, if I were to explain what the three-body problem is, it's easy, it's very simple. If we're getting into the nitty-gritty right off the bat, you're like, oh, get us hard first. We're already hard. Get us wet first, you'll say. Well, we're already wet, we're already hard. You know what it is. Well, we'll get to why we're hard and wet later on. But remain hard and wet nonetheless. But that's the thing. If we're talking about the three-body problem, what is it? One, it's on Netflix. Have I watched it? Yes. Was I litty during most of it? Yes. As per usual, nothing changed. Is there, and is that different from what, is it physics? Is it got to do with, what is it? Is it math? Is it dimensions? Is it just what is it? The three-body problem is this what it is, from my understanding. One person, you're by yourself, one body, one person, no problem. You can feel the feels that you feel. You can think the things that you think. You can think them by yourself. That's one person. You can feed yourself. You can drop a deuce to make room for feeding yourself even more. You could just make it a cycle of feeding yourself and relieving yourself, feeding and relieving, feeding and relieving, feeding and relieving. That which is like, basically, you could become like a juicer essentially, not like a fella or a lady who dabbles in the arts of substance intravenously or intravenously or whatever. Do it in the muscle, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about those types of fellas that juice. I'm talking about like a juicing machine. Lady, you're just like, oh, mouth open, everything inside. Let me deep throat this shit. Oh, I'll juice it myself. Maybe that's but we're not even talking about that. That's just one person though. We're talking about feeding yourself, taking care of yourself, pleasuring yourself, and then the pleasure is all yours. The pleasure is all ours. We're sharing the pleasure because and that's what it is. You can pleasure yourself at any given time, in any location, anywhere, anytime. Almost in any location, anywhere. Okay, and indoors, mostly, you better know the place. Don't just, walk up on people and, pleasure yourself. Unless they ask for it. Unless you set a time and a date and you're like, meet me here and then pleasure yourself right in front of me and I want to watch. Gas station bathroom, camping trip. I'll be in tent number 3. Why are the tents numbered? Who knows? The campsite isn't. Meet me in there's a giant oak tree, or inside of the oak tree is a room. That's right. You didn't think there'd be a room inside the oak tree, but that's what it is. People are thinking outside the box because they're living in tiny little boxes. People are living in mailboxes. I think you can just get a little lockbox and just put yourself in a mailbox, which is going for a good price right now, but that's not here or there. We're talking about the three-body problem. One person, you're by yourself, no problem. But times maybe like, okay, maybe I want to share the pleasures and even the quiet time. What happened is just two people sitting down side by side, hand in hand, cock and vag. Cock to mouth, vag to mouth, asshole to asshole. What happened to just two people sitting silently, just ever so gently grinding on top of one another, just bumping and grinding to some R&B from the 90s like we used to. But that's two people. You bring in two people, that's now you two of you. You're feeding each other. Now you're eating, you're sleeping, you are caressing one another. You are taking time apart so you can come back together. You're elevating one another. Like, if, this top shelf's really up there, isn't get on my shoulders. You'll say that. You will hold each other down. Like, let's say you are in a body of water and you're just extra buoyant that day. Somebody, if they're there and smart with it, will hold a, brick of bricks. Or just some heavy weights, and then they'll grab onto your ankle with their hands and they'll hold you down. Or maybe you are extra floaty today. Maybe you went to space for some odd reason, and you are, oh my god, I'm drifting in space. If you're in twos, somebody can pull you back down, but not hold you down. It's a difference. But that's two people, and most of the time how it works. And sometimes even if it doesn't, you can separate easily. It's nice, unless you're like fused together, like a conjoined twin sort of situation. I'm talking Siamese strictly, but those are rare. I'm talking about you and your partner, you and your whatevs, you and your friend, who knows. But then, and then you're like, oh, one was fine, one was good, two, even more pleasure. What about if we introduced a third body, hence the third body problem? And now you bring in another person in the equation, which was fine. The two of you had a lot of fun. It was great. But you're like, let's spice it up. Let's add another vag here. Let's add another cack. Whatever your circumstance, whatever your situation. You got two options. At the end of the day, you only got two options. It's cack or vag. Asshole's always there. But that's just and that's the thing. And then now you're like, okay, but with 1 and 2, you can easily kind of manage your time, energy, who you're pulling towards, who's gravitating towards. Is an relatively even distribution of balance, energy, magnetic fields pulling on each other. Cock to vag ratio, it's up there. But then you add the third vag, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, how do you, now you got to, now you had, because you only have X amount of energy. But now you're which way, how much time do you give to one vag? How much do you allocate to the other vag? Do they want to do 50-50? Do they want to do 70-30, 60-40, 65? All the maths are there, but how you do the numbers is essentially, that's the old, how do you do the numbers? That's the old three-body problem. So, having watched the movie when I was lit and having, thoughts like you guys and gals out there, we're all trying to solve the same riddles at the end of the day. So three-body problem, how do you do it? Is it possible? Limited time only for most, they say, but don't let that hold you down. Don't let it hold you back either. If you're trying out there, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but that's neither here or there, man. It's Wednesday, it's the 17th, middle of the week. So many exciting things are happening. We are hard. We're extremely hard, we're extremely wet. I've been moist since the weekend, but we'll get to as to why we're wet and why we're hard. We'll get to that later. Let us ease into it though, please. Because it's Wednesday after all. It's, man, oh man. Hold on a sec. It's right there where I likes it to hit. You don't know where I likes it to hit. Right there in the gut biome, right there. Horses, I've just been, I recently read an article, headline, don't get ahead of yourself there, read an article headline, something about owning horses has now become sort of like a upper echelon sort of thing, movement that like, again, I didn't read the book, but it just took me, I'm like, owning horse, I'd like to own a horse, and I thought about horses in general, because I'm like a big animal person. I'm an animal myself, I'm a person. I like animals, tiny ones, little tiny squirrels, cute little rats with more hair, which make it much easier, makes it easier to look at them. Hairless rat, ew, get away. Put a couple of, give him a mustache, put a little sideburn there, give him a little nice fur coat. Yes, cute. But what are we even talking about? Horses, that's right. Thought about it, I'm like, man, we should, again, it was because that was the first form of, that was the first form of mode of transportation outside of your bodily transport, of course. But like, we're talking, I've always thought about this. I'm like, why don't we allow more horses to be, why can't people own horses in cities is what I'm questioning. Why can't, instead of a car, why can't a fellow or a lady get a horse or a mule or a donkey at, if we can't have, is it a space thing? Because I think they are tall, but they're not like wide. It's the same space as a car, really. It's not a, let's just do this together. Today, let's pull together. If you like to see legalization of owning horses in cities, write a comment, talk to somebody in your jurisdiction. I don't know what that means, but talk to somebody, get somebody involved, call your local politician, write them an email, send a letter using a typewriter, get the ink from an octopus. But like squeeze the ink yourself out of there, but make sure not to make the octopus come, because that's a different sort of mixture in the bag. Dilute it if it's like, if it's, do as you wish. What I'm trying to say is that, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say horses are pretty dope. I don't know why we're like restricting it to either, farmers or, people on farms, or why do they got to be out of the city? Is it a big, large, is it the shits? It's the shits, isn't it? It's the shits. What if we just create like big, what if we just collect the shits? Not personally, like not in jars for personal use. That, if you want to use that as fertilizer, of course you could do that. I'm talking collected, not on your person, not on your body, not with your hands, certainly not with your mouth, certainly not with your asshole, unless you're into some sort of like freaky, fucking transfer of feces via horse anus to your anus is, what I'm not saying do, but like diapers, but like, large diaper, we collect it, we dump it, we take care of it. It's too much, right? Yeah, it's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. Not everybody's gonna be on top of their horse. Is that why they got taken away from the public? People weren't, I definitely heard of read situations about like old, the old ways of doing things back in, back in Europe, back in even, North. It's just the cities got filled with shits and garbage. But like we've now realized it's maybe. Just saying, consider bringing the horse back, because I don't want it to just be like, yes, do I wanna, yeah, if I wanna travel, it'd be nice to just fucking, just back up a few steps and do a smooth hop, skip, and a jump and get on the saddle smoothly and all in one go too. That's right. No slips for this guy. No hanging from the side. No hanging upside down. No going face to cock. All right, it may happen a few times, but that's not because of our lack of trying or effort. It's slippery and it's up there. The horses are high. Not that they're just, it's not a height issue. They are that we're feeding them a lot of cannabis mix infused with shrooms. We want our horses to be high because it's just more fun that way. And it helps. And all sorts of, daily routines. Get over here, come see me. Oh, let me hop on my horse. Go run an errand, do that. You want to get somewhere, hop on a horse. Or again, if they're too big, I say we go full mule or donkey. At least have options. They're sturdy as fuck. And honestly, and if everybody was, all this talk, it's, you wanna avoid, because they're like, oh, AI will get in there with the algorithms and the GPSs and then the self-driving cars, and that way you'll never have any accidents, unless they're designed from within, unless somebody hacks them and makes all the cars crash simultaneously. And instead of avoiding accidents, then you get all the accidents in one afternoon. God, that's, possible, plausible, doable. But again, you can't hack a horse. God knows we tried. You can't hack a horse. Maybe you can hack one. Maybe you can get in there, make a close bond, stare into its eyes, let it stare back into your eyes, look into your soul for a second, see, and just talk to it. They say they're really good. Anyway, the point is, ladies and gents, that horses, let's bring them back. Let's not just make them for the people that like to play polo. Let's not just, although we could all do that, honestly, between work and, dropping off your kids around a polo, you get your daily exercise, bow and arrow on your back. I don't know why you have a bow and arrow, you're just playing polo, but it'd be nice if you go for the full package. I'd like the full experience. Bring horses back is all I'm trying to say. Make it available to the public. If it's not feasible, again, I'm willing to settle for a mule or a donkey. It'd be nice to, and it's low speed, it's cruising. You're cruising there, 20, I don't know how fast they go. Horses go pretty fast. Hence the old terminology of the old horsepower. Horsepower, there you go. look where that brought us, horsepower. And unfortunately, the thing with horsepower is not that it's not transferable. I'm talking like if you fuck it or if it fucks you, that's the downside of. A lot of people tried back in the day. Fucked the horse, got fucked by a horse. Several horse bukakis. They were searching for power, but that's not how it's transferred. Apparently, you gotta somehow extrapolate the spirit of the horse and shove it in a car. 4,000 horsepower. Where is it? Magic. I don't know how they do it, but you don't even hear them. Fucking no noise. No remnants of a horse whatsoever, but it's in there. It's in there somewhere. Ladies and gents, boys and girls. I was just thinking about just like you out there, of course, because it is a beautiful Wednesday and we're litty and we're all syncing together now. Where all minds are uniting, all hearts are touching, we are sharing farts, we're queefing simultaneously. We are like, from the outside, it may look like the bumblebees are dancing and whizzing by in a chaotic manner, but if you were to look closer with a microscope, you'd notice that within the chaos there are patterns, and we're syncing together beautifully. It's beautiful, but it happens in steps. And the first step, one of the first steps was, and it's one of those heroes that never gets the proper, nobody's given the first guy who came up with the idea of shitting solo his or her flowers. Some lady came up with that idea. Nobody gets it because that was the thing. You'd used to, that was we've come a long way. It's beautiful that we've come that way, all that way, come so far. Hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions. Who really knows? Because who really does know? Millions of years. Let's put it out there. Why not? But we'd come a long way essentially, and shitting. So that was a thing. I'd imagine they'd get in, people would get into groups and, cavemen and women or whatever, and they had fires and they're, you do your hunting and gathering and it's nighttime and you're like, okay, great day of hunting. And somebody's like, we only gathered today. You're like, oh, shut up. I'm trying to build up a little bit of, group morale here for the gang. And you're like, but we only gathered. I thought it's nice to have it. And you're like, okay, Larry, we get it. We only gathered today, no hunting. That's why we should rest up by the fire and nude. And we're not clothed either. We're naked. Let's sleep in a circle. And as Devin's giving the old, morale speech, bringing it out, and Devin's just talking yappity yap, and all of a sudden somebody is just squatting right beside his foot and taking a shit right on his pinky toe, right on his large toe. Maybe right on his foot. It's dark. Yes, there's a fire, but we're talking people out there in the wilderness. It's dark. Shit on your oh man. What is that? Come on, Chris again. I was giving a speech, morale boosting speech, and then at one point somebody has to be like, okay, guys, this is happening far too often. Just last week, Allison and I, same thing, having a conversation, had somebody shit on my foot right there in the middle, and that's because people were like, it'd be devastating to part ways from the group and shit alone, but because there was comfort in the group, you're like, oh, safety, yes, the stench is horrendous, but at the end of the day, if everybody smells like shit, does anybody smell like shit? You know what I mean? So it was like, it was a win-win situation for everyone, worked out, but at one point or another, when we wanted to, move a little bit, get a little bit up our game, if you will. Somebody had to be like, guys, I think we should, call me crazy here, but I think we should shit separately, shit solo. And everybody was, and people came after him or her. So again, rest in peace. Pour a little out for the homie or home gal that came up with the idea of shitting solo, because you'd just be in all sorts of situations, and all of a sudden, whether you're out hunting, gathering, sitting, quenching a thirst by the river, whatever, scratching a bear's back, wrestling a bear, getting rammed by a bull, I don't know what you're doing back there hundreds of millions of years ago. Who knows? Fighting off of woolly mammoth. Oh, the woolly mammoth is turned on, it's squirted, it's jizzing in your face, and now you're covered in woolly mammoth jizz. You know how big of a load woolly mammoth jizz is? And you back at the campfire, you're like, oh, it's horrible. I gotta get this woolly mammoth jizz off me. And all of a sudden, again, Larry takes a shit on your foot. It's like, come on, Larry, I'm covered in jizz, mammoth jizz. And it was a thing, but somebody had to come up with that idea, and they probably got a little bit of pushback. But eventually, we decided, you know what? Maybe I should take 5. This group activity is nice, but maybe I should take 5 to myself. And, go stare at some wilderness and just, relieve myself of fecal matter. But that's so shout out to the fallen ones. Sip to the gang. We're doing it on Wednesday. I would, out of all the services that we provide, out of all the ideas that we come up together, out of all the things that we accomplished, and this is just the beginning, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come together here to share ideas, to have a little bit of a laugh if we may, together for a moment. But if I may get serious for 1 second and 1 second only, ever go about your life and find yourself either sitting somewhere waiting for somebody, or maybe you're in a meeting, either with friends, family members, colleagues, it doesn't matter. You could be out for lunch with colleagues, you could be at a family barbecue or a family function, you could be at a family reunion, you could be just finding out that you have a couple of other siblings that you were not aware of. Wow, conversations are going to be a little bit more heavy come this Christmas, but it doesn't matter. The point is that you're there, out with friends, family members, colleagues, co-workers. Didn't you always wish that there was a mysterious, handsome gentleman that would approach you, potentially dressed in a silver suit, who'd just lean over and whisper something, maybe in Japanese, in your ear, and then walk away mysteriously? Wouldn't you wish you had that service? Why is it always that the mysterious, handsome gentleman whisperer comes and, don't you want somebody to deliver some message to you in your ear, in your lobe, in your eardrums, in your inner ear, just in front of everybody, just so you have everybody ask you, whoa, what was that? Who is that? Who is that Eastern European man in the shiny silver suit whispering something in your ear in Japanese? Do you even speak Japanese? And just pretend it didn't even happen. But why does that always have to? That's all I'm trying to say. Why does that happen in movies potentially only? Why doesn't it happen in real life? Because we've never wanted, because we've never asked for it. What if we said together we want this service? What if that's the only thing that we needed? What if we've had everything? What if all our needs and wants have already been met? But this is adding the extra blade to the already overly bladed Gillette, the Mach 5. We're adding a 6th, 7th blade right now to the human experience. Why not? Because yes, let's have you at one afternoon at a family barbecue just be approached by a gentleman with maybe a scar on his face. Again, silver suit, slick hair, just slick back hair, blonde, speaks Japanese, 2 eye colors are different. Why not? Maybe he's playing with he's got some sort of, he's fidgeting with something. It's one of those like, oh, what is this? Some sort of like, some sort of oriental anti-stress fucking fidgety thing. He's got whatever. That's exactly what he's got. And he whispers something in your ear and he disappears, and that's the thing. And everybody's like, whoa, what's going on? And all of a sudden, what happens in your life? All of a sudden, you become that guy or that gal that already starts asking, oh, what's going on? I wonder what Sarah knows. Wonder what Sarah's up to. Is Sarah even the Sarah we used to know? Man, I haven't seen you for 5 years. You show up, all of a sudden, we're having a family gathering. Random stranger, handsome, might I add, in a silver suit, blonde hair, different color eyes, speaking Japanese, whispering in your ear, disappearing. What's going on, Sarah? I say, I can't talk about it. And you wish you'd have that, right? Exactly, which is why we're introducing the subscription-based model for the mysterious handsome man interrupter, I like to call him. Handsome gentleman interrupter. HGIs. HGI, that's right. You subscribe to this, it's an app. You get on the app, you subscribe, and randomly, at random points, and you're like, how do they know when to show up? That's the beauty of it. Nobody knows. Only you know that they at one point will show up, and they will show up several times. And you could do it for a year. Do it for a year, and then I say do it for a little while, and then cut it off, and then subscribe again, just to be like, what happened? He's so mysterious. She's got, she knows what. She's connected to who? What's she doing overseas? All questions. Just, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm there doing things, but you're just your beautiful self, but your life just got like, fucking 8 times more exciting at least. So that's all I gotta say. That's not all I gotta say, but that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say about that. And I'll say one more thing. Let's get a sip of this, bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's I wonder do you ever wonder who the world's best thief is? I'm thinking the world's best thief must be a fella or a lady with the world's smallest hands. And it'd be nice to know that fella or lady. Are you the world's best thief and you've happened to be gifted with the gift of the smallest hands? I'm not talking about like baby hands that you can't function, just small hands, just extremely tiny hands, still very able, very, capable, strong, small but strong hands. We keep putting him away, but he keeps getting away. Why? Because the cuffs don't fit, just keep falling off. Why? Because he's got the world's smallest hands. That's why. He's the world's best thief with the smallest hands. Johnny Small Hands. It'd be nice because if you got if you got small hands, you could just you could be at a jewelry shop. You could be at a jewelry shop, and just while everybody's busy, praising jewelry and getting shown jewelry and showing jewelry, and you could be there with your small hands trying things on, but they happen to, and you're like, oh, and then you ask for a few more items, and all of a sudden a few of those items, once you put them on, they happen to slip off right in your pocket right there. Why? Because you got small hands. World's best thief, Johnny Small Hands. You're there at the bank. You're at the bank. You're depositing money with the smallest hands, and you're signing checks with also the smallest hands, and the checks aren't real because you got the world's smallest hands, Johnny Small Hands. Cashing in fake checks, Johnny Small Hands. You could be in prison. You could be in prison, and they could put you behind bars. But guess what? Johnny Small Hands always finds a way, because you'll be behind bars, but your hands are so tiny, you'll put them behind the bars, and you'll unlock the lock using nothing but your tiny little fingers, because you're Johnny Small Hands. No door can hold him back. Johnny Small Hands. You could be committing crimes, and you could be also making love to your woman, but she wouldn't know because you're Johnny Small Hands. You're in there. Johnny Small Hands gets the job done. With his small hands, extremely small, very able, extremely small, extremely able. Johnny Small Hands. They find gloves at the scene. They're like, bring him in. Let's see if the glove fits. I won't, of course. Why? Because he's Johnny Small Hands. Got the world's tiniest hands. Famous. You're in a place where it's heavily lighted, where it's like, oh, light bulbs everywhere, but most people with their regular sized hands have a very difficult time unscrewing the light bulbs, but you with your beautiful tiny hands, Johnny Small Hands, unscrewing the light bulbs. Oh, no feeling of burnage on the palm of my hands. Why? Because I'm Johnny Small Hands. I'm not Johnny Small Hands, but am I? Or I could be. If I were to get surgery and make my hands extremely small, I'll do it. If you want to see me get surgery and make my hands extremely small, leave a comment. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri. When? You do that now. When will I get the surgery? Like the day, but like when I'm like 100, going with the smallest hands, and I will from 100 moving from 100 to 103, I will rock the world's smallest hand, and I will walk around doing everything that I just said. You know, making love to ladies or attempting to make love to ladies, unlocking it, unhooking a bra with my extremely tiny hands. And it's no fumbling here. Why? Because he's got the smallest hands. Beautiful. With tiny little tools, I'll have a little tiny toolkit for breaking into things, but they're all tiny, like specially made overseas. I don't know where, but overseas somewhere, handmade by also another fellow with extremely tiny hands. It's a beautiful dream to have, really, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you are out there, if you're Johnny Smallhands and you've been getting away with crime because, again, you've been gifted with the world's smallest hands, please write to us, DM me. Maybe we could sit down together, either in person if you just happen to be here in Toronto right now, or on the lines. Johnny Smallhands, shout out to you. And you're like, if that is actually your name too, if you happen to be Johnny and you got the world's smallest hands and you actually happen to be a criminal, are we sinking right now? What's happening? Something's working. I think, so please write a comment. Let's make it happen. I want to sit down with you. Nobody talks about you. You should get yours too. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, let us get into it right now. Is you're like I mentioned in the beginning that we're extremely hard, we're extremely wet. We've been hard, we've been wet, slippery. I tried sleeping last night. I couldn't. Why? Because it was so slippery. I just slid off the bed several times. I'm okay. No need to worry about me. Thank you. I'm okay. I hope you're okay too. Why was I so hard? Why was I so wet? 3 letters, UFC, and 3 numbers, 300. I'm talking about UFC 300. That's why I was hard. That's why I was wet. First of all, Kayla Harrison. No, it's happening. Yes. A hottie that can kick your ass is just incredibly, there's something there. Yes. For it. Hard. Wet. Max Holloway. Justin Gaethje. Quite possibly, this is not Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. We're talking, I'm gonna say the most gangster fight ever. Yeah, no, I was because I thought about this. So at first I was like, was it the most gangster last round I've ever seen? Was it the most gangster few minutes that I've seen? I even tried to but at the end of the day, I think Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje for the BMF was quite possibly, yes, the most gangster fight ever. Hard. Wet, hard, beautiful. Oh man, it is, and that fight was so. Thank you to everybody, all the fighters, of course, first and foremost. Just incredible. Just pointing to the mat and then standing square, taking it, receiving it, but then giving it back. All the essentials, all the different components of the equation that make up an ultimate fighter. Beautiful. Yuri Prochazka. Beautiful fight. I gotta say one thing that I've noticed, leg kicks are a bitch. It's one of those things that's come around the past few years. I like it because it's effective, but at the same, I've never been leg kicked like that. Seems like a bitch. throwing it, but also receiving it seems like an even bigger bitch. So leg kicks are here. I think leg kicks are here to stay unless you defend them. But again, are you even like it's a bitch. Leg kicks are one of those things where it's like, you know, you look at a fella's calves, you look at a fella's, you know, shins, and it's all swollen, it's all red like a little lobster, and it's just like, nah, come gnaw on me a little bit because I'm a you know, whatever. But that's just leg kicks. But Yuri, I want to say, beautiful fight, locked into the zone, went full samurai. And I don't care what you say, Yuri. You're a samurai, dude. Don't be selling yourself short of a samurai. You're a samurai, 100% in there doing samurai shit. If anybody tells you you're not a samurai, I don't think anybody is. If anybody is, fucking samurai them right into right there into the other realms and shit. So shout out to the UFC. Also, man, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. I mean, it is, again, just one of the most stacked cards, full of action, full of blood, full of heart, full of spirit. So once again, thank you to everybody, the organizers, UFC, obviously the fans, people online, people of the world, people on the streets, people in cubicles, people in pods, people in tight corners, people in places where there are no corners, cornerless people who have got no corners. Nobody's got nobody. I got your corner, and you got my corner. And if need be, we will hold buckets for each other, so we can spit in it, so we can spit all the blood, because we would just, you know, that's why you have a corner. Spit in the bucket. Give me the When you guys spit in the buckets, talking about UFC fighters, what happens to the spit after? You guys just sell it. Putting it out there, because I wonder how much a UFC fighter's spit bucket would go for. Probably depends on the viscosity and like, is it blood? Is it all blood? Is it mucus? And yeah, just watching it, again, it just puts things into perspective. And yes, love it, beautiful, fantastic, which is, you know, that's one form of, you know, that's what it is. You got beef, you bring it into the ring, the octagon, and you put it to the test, and you test yourself, and it's beautiful. It's not like, you know, but that's how, that's one of the only forms of violence that I like, fucking in sports. It's violent sports, beautiful. Oh, that's, again, going back to as to why I was hard and wet, one of the contributing factors. But then I got more hard, and then I got more wet. Why, you ask? Hold on a second, let me get a sip of this shit. Because if I'm not mistaken, we are potentially, I believe, witnessing the second, maybe, I don't even want to put a label on it, because it could just be its own thing. But I believe hip-hop, I believe rap, specifically gangster rap, we might just have a gangster rap summer right now. Everybody just needs to shut the fuck up for a second. We might just have a gangster rap summer, because everybody needs to just realize, because if I'm not mistaken, there have been 2 tracks that have been dropped right now, one by Drake, one by Ricky Ross, that are just fucking fire. Get off me right now. Shut the fuck up. Everybody chill. I think we might just have a gangster rap summer. Oh my God. Hard. Wet. Because your boy loves gangster rap. Because it's great. And that's one of the things. While I was going to say for a second, are we having a second wave of gangster rap rivalry? Like, you know, East Coast, West Coast of the 90s. Tupac, Biggie sort of. I'm getting something. It felt really good. From a fan perspective, from a music lover perspective, from what you expect from a genre. And that's one of the things, because like gangster rap's one of those genres that you had diss tracks. Diss tracks might be back in gangster rap. It's never left, but it's once again, you feel it. It's different. You feel it. There's a difference. Once it hits, once it fucking slaps, right there, it hits you right here in the gut, and all you want is that there's more of it. there's more of it. So let us please, let us calm down for a second. Let us hold somebody's hand if they're near you. Hopefully you know them, so it's not awkward. But if you know them really well, grab their crotchal region, grab a tit, grab a cack, grab a badge. Everybody, let us have a moment. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today. Dear Lord Jesus, please bless us this summer with more gangster rap, with more diss tracks. Lord Jesus, please, if you're listening out there, let us have gangster rap summer for one summer, or up to 5 years. 5 years. Give us a 5-year stretch of gangster rap songs and disses that'll only lead to nothing but more beautiful gangster rap songs. That's it. That's all we want. No actual physical casualties, of course. Please let us learn from the lessons of the past. Because what if Pac and Biggie were alive still, rap battling each other? What if that happened? Well, that's the thing. We might have another chance of a beautiful, beautiful thing that might happen. And I want everybody else involved in there. You know who you are. I don't know too much. At first, I was like, what is this? At first, I was like, heard the song. First, heard the Drake song. Fire. Hard, wet. Then I was just like, I'm like, don't get ahead of yourself. And I'm like, I'm already hard, I'm already wet. What can I do? I'm like, check online, make sure it's not AI. And I'm not quite sure yet, but I believe it's that, because I heard of that a while ago. I believe they use AI to generate some fake Drake songs. But I believe push-ups is for reals, if I'm not mistaken, which is why I'm hard. And then I heard Rick Ross dropped this track back. And that got me even harder. And I've been listening to the songs for 2 days straight now, back to back, maintaining a level of hardness that's not been seen before. Quite frankly, it's hurting. Is it worth it? Yes. Worth it? Yes. Yes. So please, gangster rap, summer, let's make it happen together. Let us, again, refrain from actual, violence, unless segue to rap UFC, dude. You rap battle and UFC at the same time, mixing both worlds colliding, a rap battle / bodily damage. Who will be the champ of the rap battle, gangster rap battle, physical rap battle, gangbanging physically, but also rapping about it, simultaneously spitting bars while locked inside bars. Inside bars. They're not bars. It's like a mesh situation with a cage in the UFC, but we could put bars in there. We could bars it up. We could bars it up. We could bars it down. I'm so excited. And please, Kendrick, J. Cole, everybody else, get in there. Drizzy, let's go. Rick and Ross, Rose. I'm so excited. Please, again, dear Lord Jesus, Lord, if you're listening, let us have 1 to 5 years of a stretch of a gangster rap summer, and let it all be at the end resolved amicably, whatever the fuck. Let it be resolved without any violence. Unless, again, it's in the UFC. And that's the thing. It could be like, because it is gangster rap, you could go pen to pen, verse for verse, bar to bar, but then we could take you out and have you face each other in all of your daily lives, activities, just daily routine things to see who's more gangster at doing it. Like making toast. I want to see who's more gangster making toast. Is it Drizzy or is it Rick Ross? Who makes the most gangster toast? Who brushes their teeth extremely gangster? Just fucking brushing their teeth with an electronic toothbrush and waving an Uzi, just maybe even unloading a few rounds in the ceiling. But then simultaneously, they can afford to have somebody fix the ceiling because they've got the money bags. So fucking, the bullets in my roof, but I got roofers on my roof fixing it. Bullets on my roof. Roofers on my roof. These bullets mean nothing. I'm just doing construction on my house. Fucking, right there. The toothpaste is minty, and it's all in my, whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Just fucking go crazy. or you want to, you know, who spreads peanut butter best on a piece of toast? Who slides in and out of the jacuzzi the most gangster? You know what I mean? Just daily routines. Who opens and closes the doors in a more gangster fashion in their large cribs? Who opens and closes the door? Once again, just like side by side, because I want to see who closes and opens doors more gangster. Do you open it with one hand, one push? Do you go two hands? Is it a kind of like, are they swing doors? Do you just walk in stiff hands, wrapping into revolving doors, in and out of one room, just 360 all day, every day? Drinking purple? Come on, son, let's go. It's, you know, who gets out of their car the more gangster? You know, if you got them doors that are just like, oh, you got the rise up from the side. Do you hang on to the side and lift up with the door? You know what I mean? Lamborghini. Oh, what's he doing? He's on the door. That's what I would do. I would totally, if I had one of those cars that has one of those doors that fucking pops to the wing door shit, I would clench onto that thing like a little koala and just get out of the mud. I'd be a drop from it, be higher. You know, I'd drop to the ground. So, you know, that's what I want to see. More, you know, make a meal, but who makes a meal more gangster? Do you fucking, you know, make a meal, but it's all, you're making a meal, maybe the table's made out of bricks of cocaine and hookers. Maybe the table's made out of hookers and cocaine and hookers. Some sort of a mixture of, maybe it's just hookers in the kitchen. Maybe the table doesn't need to be made out of hookers. Maybe they could be, who knows? Maybe I don't know how you want to arrange it. Maybe you could get like 7 to 10 hookers and like fucking, you know, pay them well, of course, pay them well. But for like this afternoon, you're going to be a table, and it's, you know, it's not worse than anything else. Being a table is far better than, again, depending to your own. I'm not saying how to use, you know, it's, all I'm saying is get creative, fucking, you know, drop that ink. Again, 1 to 5 years, and everybody else, whoever else has not been as active, and you know who you are, we'd like to see you out there. Fucking, there's so many legends in the game, just holding it down, but like still come out, just fucking spit and rap, and just, so that your boy has great music to listen to. And so everybody else also has, so this isn't just about me, it's about everybody else. Think about the children, for God's sakes. Think about the kids that grow up that have no good gangster rap, please. Somebody think of the children. All right, we're, you know, it's one of those things that is obviously, it's the old, there's a lot of things that have gotten us hard, that have gotten us wet, that are good examples of how you could, you know, you got sides to things, you got how you could, you know, how you could navigate, you could get in a ring, you could drop verses, there's, you know, so there's things that are, let's say, for example, that there is, let's say there's an issue that's on the back, maybe the forefront of everybody's thought. Talking about world piss. World piss is at stake. Let's, for example, say that world piss is at stake. And let's say people are saying, man, some people, let's say, are saying it'd be great to have world piss. And while others are saying, yes, true, world piss is great, but only for a select few, or only for a specific group, or maybe like, so you're saying that, and people say, some people might say there's not enough piss for everyone, that there could be piss, but only for a group of people. To which I say, there's plenty of piss to go around for everybody. We should not limit ourselves. Do not look at piss as a, you know, as a commodity with a glass ceiling. Nay, there is no ceiling on the amount of piss that is available for us and all of humanity. We could be, if we wanted to, really come together and put aside the pettiness, put aside, celebrate our differences, and acknowledge the many things we have in common, you'd notice very quickly that there's enough piss for everybody and then some. You're like, I want piss for me, my kids, my grandkids, and my great-great-grandkids. And let me tell you something, everybody's great-great-grandkids could be covered in piss if we wanted it to be that way. If we were to be talking about world piss, achieving it, of course, some say we've never had a period that it's been, you know, a lot of piss. We've always been disputing over piss, and it's like, okay, well, we could aim better. We could aim. They say aim for the moon, land in the puddle of piss. No, wait. They say there's piss on the moon. They say no, wait. They say there's no piss on the moon yet. Allegedly, no piss on the moon. That bitch dry. Could use a little bit of a golden shower, but that's the moon though. Here, because we're here, plenty of piss for everybody. So share the piss. You know, and that's one thing that's on everybody's mind, because of, like, you know, because worldly, globally speaking, you know, we're, you know, what are we even talking about? I'm just saying that I'll say this. I'll say let's maintain, but at this, I'll say this. I will say this. Give me a second. It's a thing that we must. How do you even? Let's do this one let's do this one together. Let's, for a second, if we may, if we can. I know that you all know that there's potential for more. There's been conflict in some parts of the world, that there's now seemingly more conflict inside, which is a surprise to a lot of people. Because that region is the region of the Middle East now. We're talking about the Middle East for a second, which I feel kind of bad for, you know, in terms of, like, nobody cares about, like, Ukraine's out there. Ukraine is, let's just get into it. You like, if we're talking about, like, resources, and, like, Zelensky must be just feeling like just not even a side bitch, just like a side bitch, you know, just be like, oh, we had it good, but you know who you were, side bitch. All I'm saying is, I don't even know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that there is, I'll say this, I support, here's the thing. It's what we do. I don't know what to do. In terms of what we do is that, remember how far we've come from the times we used to shit on each other's feet because we didn't know any better. So we've come a long way. Easily, it could just all be snapped away like that, and we could all be shitting on each other's foot or on our own feet too. That one. How long did it take us to figure that one out? The point is that it's a complicated situation, is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's a complicated situation, is what it is. It's a complicated situation. The unfortunate aspect of it is there's innocent people everywhere. That's the unfortunate aspect of it, who are, you know. So I'll say this though. So let's just quickly resolve a few issues just in one sitting. Let's just quickly resolve a few issues. All right. Let's already calm down and relax, because you know, sometimes, because I do wear so many hats and because I do have so many different professions, detective, animal rights and left activists, because a lot of times animal rights only focus on the right side of the animals and just dismiss the whole entire land. It's like half an animal is right, you know. So animal rights and left, you know, world renowned, you know, fucking triathlete, in terms of, I will shot put, I will cycle, I will also, you know, if it comes to, you know, if there's like a, you know, if I got to do a belly crawl and like shoot a target, let's go. But the point is, I don't know what we're talking about here. What are we talking about here? We're talking about, yes, there's innocent people that are, so it's like, it's a messy situation, but let's resolve it all in one day, all with one funny little show, one of the greatest shows, one of the biggest shows, when you two can become part of the show and the syndicate and the family by simply following me on Instagram, subscribing on that YouTube channel, and checking out patreon.com/Saturday. And in one afternoon, in one podcast, we could all, oh man, let's everybody with cool, calm, collected heads have NATO chill, have Ukraine chill, have Russia chill, and then have Israel and the Palestinian people chill together. Let's chill together. Let's because it's easy to escalate shit. It's so easy to escalate shit, but it's much more difficult to de-escalate. Hence, that's why I went to de-escalation camp. There was no camp. A lot of lonely summers, seeing a lot of different places by yourself, but nonetheless, it was some sort of a training in terms of a, look at this, we're out by ourselves and it's nice to roam around and, discover new things, meet new people. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it's much easier to escalate than it is to de-escalate, but the fine art of de-escalation, let's all chat. And then the Iranian, that's also an issue. And then, okay. One swift, easy step. Step one, many swift, easy steps. Steps. Aim to create maybe a two-state solution so that it ends. So that's just it's all, because let's run a simulation on the AIs. It doesn't end well for anybody. You just have so all I'm saying, two-state solution for Israel. There's plenty of room for everybody. And the Iranians in one swift, easy motion, get rid of the Islamic Republic of Iran, make it an Iran by itself. I don't know how you want to do it, but that's the one easy thing. So you remove Islam essentially from the Iran, and you will notice that your problems, and that whole region that would be solved. So get rid of the Ayatollahs, get rid of the mullahs, get rid of Islam if you could. That'd be nice. Solve that region in that sense. Solved one afternoon. Did it together. How do you because that's a tricky little, it's a little tricky situation that here's what you do though. Here's what you do. Thoughts coming together, thinking. Here's what you do. We get in there. I don't know who we is, but somebody, us collectively, where we, it's, because at the end of the day, people it's, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is that I'm in support, I will say this, I like Jewish tits and I like Jewish ass. Jewish ladies, tits to ass ratio, this guy's a fan. And for that reason, I stand with Israel. That and many other reasons, but that's a really good one for your boy. I'll say this. And then the other steps that we could take, I think we should probably consider this. I say so we could everybody, so we could all start concentrating on other shits and building stability and a thriving ecosystem for all of us. Everybody thriving. Getting hard and wet together. We should probably have a few guidelines in terms of, I say we ban Islam from Western society, because let us not go down this perpetual road of some things just don't jive. It's just what it is. One, you could just argue that religion and state don't jive together. One might say that it's just best that religion and state just stay fucking separated. Just stay separated. If you want it, just stay separated. Stay in religion. One might argue that. But, in some regions, much easier said than done. And so we in the West, I would say, ban Islam, because it's just not cohesive with, our Judeo-Christian values and the way we like things and the way it just causes problems, guys. If you want to come to Europe from any Islamic country, I think it's fair to say that there's a fair assessment done on you. I don't know how you want to vet people, but I don't, in my personal humble opinion, of course, but what do I know? I'm just a dude who likes a lot of coffee and is hard and wet a lot of times. So with that being said, ban Islam in Western society and Europe. If you want to practice that, get away. Nah. Get away. Because it's just why waste so much time and energy and resources? Oh, bring him in, let him build a mosque. It doesn't work. Again, in my humble opinion. But that's just what I wanted to say. So it's very simple, actually. One afternoon, we do it. Ban Islam from Western society. Get rid of the ayatollahs and the mullahs in Iran. You'll create more stability there for everybody. Israel, Palestine, let's come together. We could all be enjoying a lot of food that has a lot of flavor and doing a lot of belly dances, and also, wearing all sorts of beautiful attires and dancing. And in the evenings, when the sun sets, we could all get back to our regularly scheduled programming of good old-fashioned human fisting, eating of the asshole, eating the puss, sucking on tits, twisting tongues, because that's what we do. I think, for the most part, from what I've seen, from what I've read, I've not practiced some of the activities that I just mentioned in some time, hence why I'm hard and wet for a good portion of the day or evening. But that's just my personal little things. So we had a great time. We had a great day today. It was great, fantastic. A lot of things that I want to, these are tricky. Some of the topics are more tricky than others. But I say there's potential for learnage, and at the end of the day, thank God I'm not in charge of anything, and I am, yes. So shout out to the ones. Shout out to the men's and women's in uniforms. If need be, let's all hope that we can all, because your thoughts get carried away and you think things, and you're like, what if the situation should arise where you need to suit up? And I said to myself, if need be, if push comes to shove comes to push, we will suit up. But then we could all be doing so many better things. I'll say this, nobody wants a World War III, but if it does happen simultaneously, we will probably have the World War III because of what is happening right now in music and gangster rap. World War III, if it does happen, World War III might have the best soundtrack. So there is always things to, so all I'm saying is, if need be, I will go bunker to bunker with a big telephone, with a big mobile telephone with a giant antenna. I will be the guy that cracks a few jokes, here and there between bunkers in the trenches, holding down our boys and our girls and our men and our ladies and gentlemen. If the Canadian Army should ever need to suit up once again, and I'm just saying, right there with you. And no training, but again, a lot of heart. Lots of, I'd have to come up with a lot of war jokes, which would, you know, just to build more morale and spirit. But like, I don't think we're gonna ever have that kind of warfare again. It'll just be like drones versus drones. Excuse me, almost choked on my own spit. Oh my God, he almost choked on his own spit. Somebody get him help. You almost know it's okay, I don't need help, it's okay, don't worry, do not, it's okay, don't worry about me. Choking on his own spit. So dramatic, the most exciting podcast in the entire multiverse. Touching on all the bases. If the bases were remote nipples, we'd be fucking scratching all of them from a distance at least, or attempting to lick one. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again. It's been Wednesday. As you can see, these are just very simple problems that have only been here for thousands of years. We have options of repeating our past or making changes. And together, I believe there is enough piss to go around for everyone. Almost everyone. A small, tiny portion of people potentially. That's where you're like, oh, your heart goes out for everybody, but then some people are just like, it's not working. It's like, anyway, the point is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that it's a tough issue, tough issues, certain things. Again, my heart genuinely goes out to innocent babies, seriously, for one second, innocent children from all around the world that are, you know, that just happen to be in circumstances that are out of their, that's sad. Outside of that, I believe we can do things better. Let us aim for the moon so we have enough piss for everybody. Get out of here. No, you get out of here. It's the 17th. It's this Wednesday. You get out of here. I'll be back here again on Friday. In the meantime, stay hard, stay wet. Peace out.